Hey, what's going on, Gang Green? Glad to see you guys again. Today we're talking about the tight end position for the Jets. Excuse me. Probably going to be one of the shorter videos, to be honest. The tight end position is by far the weakest position on the offensive side for the team. So essentially, we got four players vying for spots. At least if they go with the kind of classic model for how many players they're going to keep at that position, we will have all four. Kind of really depends on what they're going to do with the quarterback position. Are we keeping three quarterbacks? Are we keeping two? Placing one on the practice squad? Maybe. I believe the exemption for pulling people from active to practice squad will still apply for this season, so that can be a way that they get around it, assuming that James Morgan or Mike White clears waivers. If we don't end up keeping them and they do get cut during the preseason. But we have Chris Herndon, we have Ryan Griffin, Daniel Brown, and Tyler Croft. So the two main looks are going to be, or the two main starters, if you will. Chris Herndon, presumably the starter from last season. So he's had a very strange career so far. His rookie year connected really well with Sam Darnold. A lot of chemistry, a lot of tough throws, a lot of tough catches. And then I believe he was able to pull in 4 or 5 touchdowns during his rookie season. His sophomore year was when things got a little bit tricky for us. So he has injury. He's only in for a few games. He tries to come back last year, and the results were definitely underwhelming. So 240 something odd yards, I believe, maybe 280 something, and I think only 1 or 2 touchdowns. It's not like he was a world breaker, his rookie season, but there was definitely a lot to be excited about. Almost 500 yards and I want to say 5 touchdowns. So on an offense that only produced, 20 or less touchdowns, that was a huge sign. 25% of our efficiency coming from that tight end position and, a rookie starter for us. So a lot of good things to look forward to. We've heard Adam Gase talking about him being a unicorn of sorts, where, essentially he can do it all and do things effectively. So interesting terminology, considering Swiss Army knife is usually what you'll hear for like the do-it-all people that don't necessarily excel in everything, but that was the title applied to him. So it kind of gave the understanding that Chris Herndon was going to, perform really well in, blocking, developing his route running downfield in the seams, being able to continue to pull in them tough catches and be a strong red zone target. That didn't really lend itself to be the case. Right now, it's definitely looking more so like he can be a bust, if you want to call, a 4th round pick that. But either way, he's presumably been groomed to be the starter throughout his tenure with us, and that hasn't materialized. The one thing I was looking forward to was, we have a new scheme. We've seen it be effective. So, San Fran having George Kittle. We've seen some of the other various players that have stepped in West Coast systems and been able to perform really well. And so far, the results still have been underwhelming. If you haven't checked out Jets Media, check them out as well, by the way, as well as Jet Central, one of my 2 favorite channels. Just when I'm, running around and looking for other information, just want to tune in as a Jets fan to other people. But I haven't heard much. Everything's been that, there's been a few drops and that there's a lot of inconsistency still going on, which it almost makes it appear as though he's taken a step back from his rookie season. Tyler Croft and Chris Herndon have essentially been splitting reps at the number 1 spot. So Tyler Croft, he was in Cincy before, went to the Buffalo Bills for a little bit. Nothing to be excited about. If nothing else, I think the top ceiling remarks for him would be that he's a solid player. I wouldn't expect a season from him even like what Chris Herndon had his rookie season. I think realistically we're probably looking at, as a position as a whole, stat wise, probably 400 to 500 yards, maybe 3 touchdowns. I want to kind of bump those numbers up a little bit just because I think with Zach Wilson's creativity, and we'll see how LaFleur does with his first year play calling duties, but I think maybe there'd be a little bit of magic there. Well, we'll see a surprise, maybe not a bunch of yards, but maybe more touchdowns than expected. But that's kind of the Tyler Croft, Chris Herndon situation. We seen Ryan Griffin before kind of come in and have a rewarding season. But nothing since, injuries coming into place. And then Daniel Brown is essentially just a pure blocking tight end for us. So there's not a whole lot to be extremely excited about. The one hope that I'm still, kind of clutching on to is Kenny Yaboah. So that's the undrafted tight end that we picked up. I did hear that there was a couple exciting catches that he's made in some of the camps so far. They put on pads this week. I'm hoping that, some more information comes out in regards to that. Most of the news has been, Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore. I've heard Denzel Mims has even done some things. Jamison Crowder had a really awesome catch and run situation a couple days ago. Day 5 of minicamp, so I think, Thursday or Friday, but nonetheless, that's pretty much the tight end position. It's not a whole lot to be excited about. I'm hoping Kenny Yaboah can step in and really connect with Zach Wilson out the gate, maybe have a Herndon-like situation apply to him, where is basically unexpected. Maybe there's some attributes there, some things that work well in his system that nobody really predicted for him, or at least expected him to develop in a certain area. So big body receiver, 6'4", I believe, and I want to say it was like 220-ish, 240 pounds, I believe. So hopefully that's, a hidden gem for us, something we can uncover. Let me know what your thoughts on the tight end position is. To be honest, I really do think it's just going to be a shell of itself. We haven't really had a strong tight end since the days of like Mark Sanchez. Dustin Keller is really like the last exciting tight end that we kind of had, that we were able to really depend on. The ones that have come later, I personally wise, just as a human being, they've kind of let me down in some areas, but I won't dwell into that again. Let me know your comments. Let me know if you guys are expecting any kind of moves there. I do think maybe that would be the one position that Joe Douglas may try to sink some more resources into, maybe something like a 4th or a 5th round pick. If we can grab somebody like maybe like a Tyler Eifert, I doubt we get him for that kind of compensation, but still, somebody in that kind of realm of things, injury history at play, and we're kind of betting on the upside there. But with that said, I'm going to call it a night, guys. Looking forward to finally getting into the defensive side of things later, maybe tomorrow. And then at that point, it's just going to be updating new news for everybody with the current going on for the Jets. But with that said, let's go get green and peace out.